Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? I hope this finds you well. Lord have mercy, here we are. We're ready for another episode of And That's When the Fight Started. Before we do that though, there's always one thing that we've got to do on my videos, and that is more cowbell! Now that we got you woke up, got your attention, here's the story. Anybody that's been around me very much knows that I'm a farm girl, love my animals, always have to have animals around, and I horsed around and I married me a city boy and moved to the city. And we got to talking one day. We hadn't been married very long, and he says, I could tell that you really would like to have some critters. He says, so why don't you go to the pet store and get yourself a bird, get a parrot or something. And so I did. I went down to the pet store, and Lord, I was shocked by the prices on them parrots. Man, oh man, $1,500 on one, $3,000 on another one. Oh man, I thought, Lord, I can't afford this. And go on down, walking down, and there's this really pretty bird, and he's got a $50 price tag on him. So I asked the feller there in the store, I said, is this the right price tag on this bird? And he looks at it, he says, yeah, that's the right price tag. I said, well, how's come all the rest of these birds are all these big price tags and this one's just $50? What's the story? And he says, well, this bird here come from a brothel. So let's just say that his language tends to be a little colorful for most folks. So I wanted to make sure he got a good home, and I dropped the price down so that somebody could give this bird a good home where he'd be appreciated and maybe not hold everything he says against him. And I thought, well, I could probably do that. Yeah, that don't sound too bad to me, and it's a price I could afford. So I paid the $50, and I take this bird home. And put him in the cage, and he sits there for a minute, and he looks all around, looks to his right, looks to his left, looks all up at the ceiling and down at the floor, and he says, new house, new madam. Well, that kind of took my breath. I wasn't expecting him to say something like that, but I thought, well, considering where he come from, there could be worse things he could say. So I just chuckled it off and went on about my business. Later that day, a neighbor lady came over to visit with me for a few minutes. She walks in. She says, oh, what a pretty bird. And he looks her up and down, and he says, new house, new madam, new girl. I'm like, Lord have mercy, I can't believe you just said that. But then I explained to the lady, what had gone on, and she chuckled, and we went on about our business. Well, later that day, my husband comes home from work. And he walks in the door, and he says, oh, well, I see you got you a new bird. The bird looks at him, and he says, well, hi, Jim. And that's when the fight started.